Hello and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. I'm Cozy Gamer and it's a beautiful day for some DSA, am I right? Today we're going to look at something that often gets overlooked in Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and that's going to be character stats. So knowing what character stats do to affect your characters is vital in Disney Sorcerer's Arena. You want to know exactly what makes a good character great and what makes a bad character bad. Easy enough, right? We're also going to be looking at today the highest in each category for each stat so that you know what are the best 5 offensive characters in the game. Do keep in mind, just because someone has the best stat in the game doesn't mean that they're the best in their attack, offense, and support categories. It just means that they have, let's say, the highest health in the game. Sometimes that just means they're a bullet sponge, and sometimes it means they're super hard to take down while they put out a ton of offense. So we're going to look at each of those and just take a deeper dive into stats in general. All right, now for some quick channel news. We are approaching 1,500 subscribers and I could not be more excited, guys. Thank you so much for joining the Cozy Club already. I've seen that about 40% of you guys are subscribed and the others are not. Guys, it helps so much by just clicking that red button. It supports the channel and it means a ton to me. We're gonna be doing some more awesome giveaways at 2,000 subs. I'm excited to reach that milestone, my friends. And if you want to go ahead and join me on Twitch, you can find that in the description below. The giveaways usually happen on Twitch. You can join the Discord to find out when exactly I'm going live. We recently just did the top Disney movie bracket tournament. We've got the final 4 going on this Thursday, so I'm excited to see the results. We have a good time. It's cozy. We listen to some great jams, and it's an awesome community to talk about Disney and to hang out. All right, guys, thanks so much for sticking with me. Now, I know you see always those tier lists, right? And we want to know exactly what makes those characters good. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive looking into character stats and see exactly what each one means and what characters are the best with each stat. Starting off, we're going to go ahead and look at offense, right? So offense is huge in this game, and currently in DSA, offense is really kind of overwhelming defense and support. Offense and the attacks you put out is more important than the defensive walls and the healing you do, because right now they're just not equal. So offense is pretty simple. It's the amount of damage your character is going to do. This is going to combine with the ability damage, and you're going to be subtracting it from the defense stat. And that's really the damage that you're seeing your character put out. Now, looking at the top 5 in offense, you're going to see Elsa. You're going to go ahead and see Hades, Dash, Elastigirl being the best single target damage. And then you're going to finally round out with about Zerg and the Queen of Hearts and some of these other characters. Now, this is important because you want to take a look at their abilities and see how they match up with their offensive stat. Elsa's got strong abilities, strong offensive stat, meaning she's going to do a lot of damage. Same for Zerg, Dash, and others. So guys, one of the things that you're going to notice is when you gear up your character, you star them up, or you level them up, you're going to see the character stats increase. Gearing so far does the biggest stat increase, so you're going to want to focus on that. But each time you level up, pay attention to the right corner there, and you're going to see those stat icons move up in number value. Now, how much offense you're putting out is important, but the defense that you're able to support is going to mitigate the damage coming out. And I know you guys know this is important because you face Simba, you face Kristoff by now, you've seen the defense up on them, and it is hard to get through, and you consistently see that 1 damage going on. That's because the damage that's going out is not strong enough to compare with the defensive walls that these characters are putting up. So Oogie Boogie, Monterey Jack, Gaston, Bo Peep, and Jasmine are really the queens and kings of the defensive stat in this category. Now, Simba does well because he gives himself defense up, same as Kristoff. So you can manipulate the stat, but as far as base defense goes, these are your top 5 there. Moving on, you know this already. Speed is king, my friends, in Disney Sorcerer's Arena. Just because someone has a high stat in speed doesn't mean they're going to outrace everybody, because you've got things like Shan Yu that's going to increase all the characters' speed in a kingdom team. Or you have Anna, who has abilities that can go ahead and rise speed and turn meter of your team. It's going to be the Flash Dash himself who's going to have the top speed in the game, followed by Hades, Elsa, Shan Yu, and my boy Sven. Guys, Finn gets slept on so much. You can get that guaranteed crit buff out, and then you can start using that basic. Finn is very solid for many different reasons, speed just being one of them. Now, moving on to a stat you probably don't know about, and that's going to be recovery. Now, recovery is vital to support characters, as defensive characters already got somewhat of a little buff, with taunt being harder to dispel. Whereas recovery, this is what support characters rely on for their health and shields that they're giving out. Like when Violet gives out a shield, it looks at the recovery stat, and that's going to determine how much she's going to give out with that. You'll see 0 on a lot of this, except for these top 5 and some others, but these top 5 are the top most recovery stat characters within the game. Woody, Rafiki, Kristoff, Ariel, and Pocahontas are the top 5 in recovery, and they're really going to be putting out the heals for your team. Again, healing is not that great right now, so I wouldn't focus on this stat too much until they do fix it. Now, moving right along, Cozy Club, let's go ahead and look at a stat that you probably don't know either that much, and that's precision. A precision in this game is like accuracy. The top 5 in precision is going to be Shan Yu, Sven, Anna, Jack Sparrow, Queen of Hearts, Zerg, and Soli. Those are the ones that are going to be making sure that those hits land. Now, on the flip side of that, you have Evasion. I couldn't exactly find the top characters in the game in this category. However, I know that Anna has 6%, and I know that Aladdin has 5%. Aladdin's going to keep on putting the evasion on him, so he's going to be hard to hit either way. Some ways around evasion, you can use the claw, or Elsa does have that guaranteed hit. We might see more of that to make evasion matter a little bit less. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the sexy critical chance and critical power. So critical chance is obviously going to go ahead and give your team more of a shot, or the character more of a shot to land critical hits. Critical hits, depending on the character, can do about 1.5 times multiply of the damage you put out, and even some characters go beyond that. Your top 5 in critical chance is going to be Elastigirl, Shan Yu, Shere Khan, Merida, and Mulan. And this is important for these characters, right? Because Elastigirl can lay out the big hits. Shan Yu is important with his crit and his final ability that's going to go ahead and give himself another turn, so you want to crit there. Shere Khan is just this consistent beast that only gets better the more harmful effects on the field. Shere Khan actually did see a big jump in viability because harmful effects are harder to get rid of. Now, looking at critical power, again, this is important because this is going to show exactly how much damage they're doing. You've got Barley, Jafar, Davy Jones, Steamboat Mickey, and Olaf. Barley's not going to be that much of a difference with his critical power, as he doesn't do a lot of physical attacks. He's more of a support character. But Jafar and Davy Jones, they are important to have critical damage on. Jafar's going to be laying out bigger hits, and Davy Jones, let me tell you, Davy Jones, with one of his abilities to open up the match, lays out some massive damage, and that's thanks to his critical power. Now, most of these people are going to be 150% or 1.5 times multiplier, so expect to see the same critical damage, not necessarily the hits, but you're going to see the same multiplier for most of the characters in the game. Moving on, we have what everybody knows, and that's going to go ahead and be health. Now, health is important because mainly your tanks are going to have this. Both health and tenacity are the two qualities that a tank is going to want. Health making it harder to take them down, and tenacity making it harder to put harmful effects on them. We're going to get to potency and tenacity in just a second, but with health, you've got Oogie Boogie, Soli, Bob or Mr. Incredible, Bo Peep, and Gaston. And again, these are all tanks, right? You want your tanks to have the most health so they can take the most damage. Now, just a quick note, Sorcerer Stones are coming to DSA, and that's really going to affect the stats and the stat multipliers, as it's going to change attack, speed, and some other stats in the game. I'll have a video coming out on Sorcerer Stones soon enough, but I just want to let you know that will be fun because you can make characters faster or stronger than they usually are. Now we're gonna go ahead and end off with potency and tenacity, and these are actually big, important stats that people really don't even know about. Potency, to start off, is going to be your ability to land debuffs on the opponent. The higher the potency, the more chance you have to land the continuous damage, the heal block, and so on. Now, this is more important in some characters than it is others. Now, characters like Madame Mim, Demona, Jafar, and some of these other ones are going to depend on potency a lot more, and it's more important because they're debuff heavy characters. You're going to see potency on some characters that can't even do debuffs, or their debuffs don't really matter. So this is a stat you want to look at and see how often you can abuse the harmful effects. As for tenacity, it's the opposite side. You want your tanks, your other attackers that you don't want stunned or shut down, to have high tenacity. Your highest tenacity in the game is going to be Hades, Elsa, Monterey Jack, Barley, and Steamboat Mickey. Now Hades, now you can see why he's a top character, right? He's got very high offense, he's got high defense, and now he's got high tenacity, so he can't get debuffed. Overall, Hades, you can see strictly why stats are so important and why it makes him such a good character. Combine that with his good abilities, and you're looking at one of the best characters in the game. So just to sum it up, attackers, you're going to want offense, critical chance, and critical power. Defense, health and tenacity, and speed, of course, is important. And for support, that recovery stat, speed, and defense is important as well. Now, On is a support that can do a lot more than just pumping out different stats. but overall, these are the main stats that are important for each character role. And guys, that's going to do it for stats. I think that it was important for everyone to know exactly what stats did in this game so that you can look at your characters and know them a little bit better. And then this way, into battle, you're not questioning why someone's hitting so hard or you're not hitting hard enough. And if you want to look, I'm going to go ahead and post in my Discord the top characters in each of their respective fields. I'll put a graphic listing all of the top, let's say 15. Join the Discord. You can find that in the description below. If you haven't already joined, we're up to 320 members. So excited for that. I know that we're eventually going to have even more, and I'm excited to grow this community. Lastly, thank you so much for spending your time with me here at the Cozy Club. We have more videos coming at you this week. I'm excited, and I've got a new 2 series starting weekly that you guys can depend on weekly videos on certain days, and I can't wait to get that out to you. You guys have an amazing rest of your day, and remember, it's a beautiful day always for some DSA. We'll see you next time at the Cozy Club.